The Illusion of Democracy and the Suppression of Dissent in Britain. A closer look at power. Behind the curtain, freedom of speech, once a pillar of British democracy, is now under systematic assault. From whistleblowers being prosecuted under national security laws to activists and journalists being silenced under vague definitions of hate speech or disinformation, the British government appears increasingly intolerant of dissent, particularly when that dissent challenges the interests of entrenched global power structures. At the center of this web of influence lies the City of London Corporation, a sovereign financial enclave that wields disproportionate control over both British politics and global finance. The erosion of civil liberties in Britain can be observed in the increasing criminalization of protest. The 2022 Police, Crime, Sentencing and Courts Act significantly restricted the right to protest, allowing police to impose conditions based on noise levels and perceived disruption. In 2023, the Public Order Act expanded police powers further, enabling preemptive arrests of protesters. These laws have not been aimed solely at violent agitators, but have also targeted environmental activists, anti-war demonstrators, and critics of the monarchy and the political elite. Behind this authoritarian trend lies a deeper, less visible force: the global financial elite. Among the most historically entrenched of these elites is the Rothschild banking dynasty. Although modern defenders are quick to dismiss any mention of the Rothschilds as conspiracy theory or anti-Semitism, such accusations often serve to shield legitimate scrutiny. Historically, the Rothschilds amassed extraordinary influence through centralized banking systems across Europe during the 18th and 19th centuries, playing roles in financing governments, wars, and colonial enterprises. Today, remnants of that legacy live on through a network of private financial institutions, investment holdings, and advisory power, particularly within the City of London. The City of London is not just a financial hub, it is a legally distinct entity from the rest of Britain, with its own governance structure, lobbying power, and a long tradition of protecting elite interests. It is through this nexus that the modern British political class has become subordinate to a transnational financial oligarchy. Prime ministers and party leaders, whether Conservative or Labour, tend to come from the same elite circles and promote policies favorable to global finance: austerity, military-industrial expansion, and corporate consolidation. In this context, figures like EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, French President Emmanuel Macron, and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer appear not as independently elected leaders but as compliant administrators serving a globalist agenda. Macron, a former investment banker at Rothschild and CA Bank, rose to power with strong backing from France's financial elite. Von der Leyen, though less directly linked to the Rothschild family, has consistently advanced EU policies that concentrate economic power in supranational institutions while marginalizing national sovereignty. Keir Starmer, as Labour leader, has distanced the party from grassroots dissent and redirected it toward a centrist, pro-establishment path, earning favor with corporate and media interests embedded in the City of London. The illusion of choice in democratic elections is perpetuated by media monopolies and think tanks, many of which are supported by the same elite foundations. Institutions such as the World Economic Forum, Davos, and the Bilderberg Group function not as democratic spaces, but as private policy forums where unelected elites shape the global agenda behind closed doors. Attendance at these gatherings by sitting leaders and corporate executives blurs the line between public service and private allegiance. The same network promotes global governance models that dilute democratic accountability under the pretext of sustainability, security, or economic integration. Critics who point to these structural realities are often silenced with accusations of conspiracy or bigotry, particularly if they mention the Rothschilds. Yet it is essential to distinguish between genuine anti-Semitism, hostility toward Jewish people, and the well-documented financial power wielded by a specific elite family. Ironically, the Rothschilds have often used their Jewish heritage as both a shield and a tool, vilifying criticism while leveraging identity politics to expand influence. In this sense, their behavior has at times put ordinary Jewish communities at risk by entangling them in the fallout from elite power struggles. Britain's descent into managed democracy, where choices are manufactured, dissent is criminalized, and power is concealed, demands urgent attention. To restore real democratic accountability, the public must move beyond fear and political correctness and begin to question the shadow structures that operate above elected governments. Freedom of speech is not merely a civil right. It is a weapon of resistance against tyranny, whether it comes from Parliament or the private boardrooms of global finance.